Hello everyone, it's me again, Young Chuck. I just finished watching the 2017 movie picture John Wick. More like John Whack. That movie sucked a donkey's dick. Just kidding, it wasn't that bad. But I think overall, for me, in my opinion, it was just a little bit mid. It didn't have the same exotic flair of Space Jam or Jumanji, or even the Book of Eli seemed to have more spirit than John Wick. Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some Keanu Reeves. I think he's a phenomenal actor. And he holds his own in this movie. He does nicely. But Keanu Reeves alone isn't enough to make a movie. For me, I need something more. In the beginning, I was engaged. I think it starts off strong. Right, John loses his dog, which is a beautiful dog, I might add. Very cute. If I were John, I would be furious if someone killed my dog as well. Before watching this movie, I had always thought maybe John was overreacting. But no, man, the dog he lost was a real cute dog. Even though I'm not crazy about the name Daisy. Sorry for the epic rhyme, I'm a bit of a freestyler. But anyways, I think that John was definitely justified in his feelings of rage. But despite that, I think seeking professional treatment, such as a counselor or a therapist or a psychologist, probably might not be a bad idea. I get that I don't think he's unwarranted in his feelings of fury against the people that have wronged him. But maybe just for his own sanity and sake, see someone. I really, one element of this movie I did like and kind of got me wondering was the whole seedy underworld, only pay someone with gold coins type. Is there an economy that works like this that I don't know about? Are there really? I mean, I'm sure there are. I'm sure I don't want to know the whole truth. But are there just like people you can call up and you can pay them 5 gold coins and they'll clean up a bloody murder scene for you and not ask any questions? And they're led, of course, by some fucking like 97-year-old sleaze looking guy that would probably like stab you in the jugular if you crossed him. You know what I'm talking about? This movie has a lot of really shady underground nightclubs and hotels that are meant specifically for like murderers and hitmen, and I just want to know if an underbelly like this actually exists. I don't want any part of that world, and I'm happy staying far, far away from it. I'm simply just curious if it's out there. It's pretty cool that John Wick knows Russian. I think that's probably one of his biggest flexes, apart from being proficient in, I don't know, he's like the god of war. The fact that he's taken the time to learn Russian shows me that John is someone who truly values his free time and knows how to spend his free time wisely. I highly doubt that John Wick is the sort of man that spends his time doom scrolling on Instagram or looking at Google News. I wish I could be more like John. Less in the way that I was comfortable murdering people, and more in the sense that I spent my free time bettering myself rather than creating lackluster content for YouTube. But that's okay. We can't all be crazy like John Wick. Let's see. I think that this movie showcased a complete failure of the police force in the John Wick universe. How is Wick able to walk around the entire movie in a blood-stained shirt, face beat to shit, shooting at people, and driving his car over the speed limit? I don't understand where the police were in this movie. Maybe they, I guess there was a scene where a police officer rolled up at John Wick's house and saw a dead body in the background after doing a noise disturbance check. And he seemed to be just fine with John Wick having a dead body on his living room floor. So I don't know how much John had to bribe the police force to not give him a hard time. But good to know that there are. Um, Fuck the police. That's what I'm saying. Um, yeah. And at the end of the film, John gets a new dog to replace the one that was shot. And this led me to question whether the plot of John Wick 2 is that his new dog gets shot. And at the end of John Wick 2, he gets a third dog. And at the start of John Wick 3, the third dog gets shot. I hope I'm wrong in my assumption that that's how the sequels go, but something tells me that my hunch might be correct. So I'm not sure if I want you to tell me or keep me in the dark. I think I'd rather just choose to forget about John Wick. Then I just felt like John Wick dragged on for an extra 45 minutes longer than it had to. I'm not sure of the total runtime, but it felt like 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is about 60 minutes too long in my opinion. Movie people, make your fucking movies under 2 hours. You can do 145, 150, 155, 159, that's fine. Try not to go too much more than that. Overall, I just felt like this movie was lacking the whimsical joy that I need in this world. It was lacking really any sort of whimsy whatsoever. Not really a whole lot of colors, just really gray and bleak and depressing. And I've told you once, I told you before, I'm a bit of a silly goose, okay? I can handle serious things, but, I like whimsy. So, I just felt like Jason Statham Crank would have been such a more whimsical movie. But that's okay. I'm glad I watched John Wick, but I think between you and I will be skipping the sequels. Don't really care to see how the story ends. I wasn't hooked by John Wick 1, and frankly, I think the fact that there's four of them is just obscene, and it to me it seems merely like they want your money and they don't really care about making movies. And I'm an artist at heart, so I appreciate things that are made for the sake of making art and not for the sake of making money. Um, so that's my honest review of John Wick. As an aside, there was several funeral scenes here. Obviously, they featured rain. It got me thinking about my own funeral. Do I want there to be rain or no rain? The nice guy in me wants there to be no rain because it sucks being stuck in the rain. No one wants to be at a funeral, let alone be stuck in the rain at a funeral. But the prideful man in me wants it to be pissing down, right? Because that's how you signify the death of a great one, is with lots and lots of rain. But I think I'll avoid this anxiety that I have by just getting a Viking burial or spiritual cremation or something and just skipping a funeral. Maybe just have some drinks or something instead, or do a drum circle or something a little more up-tempo. And if it's raining at the drum circle, I think I could handle that. Or if it's dry at the drum circle, that's fine too. And then I wondered, when there are heavy rain scenes in movies, how much of that is Mother Nature? How much of that is the pre-existing weather? And how much of it is just the directors and producers and the movie control people like dumping buckets and spraying hoses and stuff over the scene? If anyone has insight into the movie magic, please let me know. I'm hungry for knowledge. I think if they're just dumping buckets of water and shooting hoses, it's probably a waste of water. I think we can handle scenes without rain. I don't think they add all that much. Maybe sometimes, maybe if you really need it, but come on, it doesn't need to be raining all the damn time, all right? I was unsure where John Wick took place, if it was in Canada, the United States. Felt like North America, but I wasn't sure where. So I would be keen to know that information. If you know where John Wick canonically takes place, please let me know. Thank you all so much for joining me on my review of John Wick. Which movie will I watch next? Will it be Jason Statham Crank? Will it be Men in Black? Will Smith Wednesday? Okay, that's all for now. Bye-bye. See ya.